seats with anticipation as the Falcons take on the Mustangs. Once again, I'm excited. I am so very excited for what should be an incredible game of Overwatch 2 here tonight. Like I said before, these Mustangs coming into the game with a beautiful 5-0 record. Mustangs also 5-0 record. I believe it's also a 5-0 record for the Dutchess Community College team. I believe they're the only two teams that have been left undefeated. We'll see what they're able to do tonight. The first map of the night is a control point map. We are on Oasis, one of my favorite maps, not just because of how often I played it as a young Overwatch 1 player, but just for its simplicity and fun. Play on the middle of the point. We got random stuff in the middle. We got a bounce pad, things like that. It's everything that you like about Overwatch into one map. As everything looks like we're getting ready to go. Mustangs are definitely in a good position as we look to get things started here tonight. Our roster for this evening goes as follows. If I click the right button. There we go. Let's take a look at our starting roster for today's match. Bada is our reserve tank player, but in tank for game one, we've got Retro, the captain of the Mustangs. And they are very excited to have him as the captain. He's been on and off, switching with Bada. Their strengths seem to match each other in certain places, but Bada tends to be stronger in some ways. Retro tends to be stronger than others, so that's why we're seeing him on Oasis for map 1. Zyphon is in the DPS position here tonight, a top 500 DPS to be exact. He has some off-the-chart shots, and he is just doing an incredible job this season to keep the Mustangs in every single match. Also on DPS tonight, we've got Tar. He will not be in for game one. Not quite sure where he is this week. Actually not sure if he's going to be in the lineup for this week, but he is another DPS that we should be talking about. He's kept the Mustangs in those games. He's had pivotal plays on attack, on defense, on control. Wherever you need him, Tar will be there. Also, in the DPS position, he will be playing in map 1. We've got Sundown. An absolutely incredible DPS, his second season as a varsity Mustang, and he is already making waves with this team, a part of this undefeated lineup. They have yet to drop a map, and that is in part to the work that Sundown does. But the unsung hero, one of our two unsung heroes, we've got Ryan in the support position. He is also a second-year varsity player, and like I just said, the support role never gets enough credit, especially with me. I am definitely huge on that, but our last support for tonight, we've got Effect. And Effect is our third top 500 on our roster. Both of our tanks, Bada and Retro, are top 500. Zyphon and Effect both sit at that top 500 rank as well. We are at the pinnacle of Overwatch excellence here. Tar, Sundown, and Ryan all not far behind, but this starting lineup has been stacked all season long, and it's exactly what you want to see out of this team. They've just played beautifully on attack, on defense, and if I had to think of anything as we get into game one now, up against the Falcons, think no further than last week. They lost the first point on Hollywood, a hybrid control map. They lost it in 15 seconds and held for 6 minutes. And talking to them in the postgame, pretty much their only type of thought towards that initial hold was, great, more time, let's not look at the let's not look at the clock. It's like we got some tape over it. Who cares how much time we have? Let's hold them. And hold them, they did. A 3-0 for the Mustangs, and they have yet to drop a map this season. But now, we find ourselves in a fun location on Oasis for our control point map of the night. Making sure that we've got, okay, there is the audio, making sure that that's all good there. That gray square just popped up, and you might be asking yourself, JD, what is that gray square? That's a lovely question. That's our control point for this evening. It's best 2 out of 3 in the map pool. We'll start here on this initial map. Not quite sure what the name of this map exactly is called, but we are on the overarching map of Oasis. Mustangs ready to go with a Junker Queen comp. Retro on Junker Queen. Zyphon on Genji. Sundown on Venture. Ryan on Juno. And Effect running their favorite, the Brig. They'll move in against this Orisa comp. Siphon taking some damage, but effect is on him. Like I said before, I haven't been giving quite as much love as I should have to the supports that have played so crucially in these games. But I will give them love right now as the Mustangs initially pushed back against the Falcons, the Dutchess Community College Vikings. Falcons, and they will find themselves on point. Retro leading that charge on the Junker Queen. They'll just move around. They've completely cornered the Falcons. Team Effect with a nice one. Retro with another. Unfortunately, Sundown, the first Mustang to fall there. Effect looking a little low. He's going to look to take out this Reaper. They're not going to be able to do it, but they will be able to get out of there. And Effect comes back for more. He'll be able to take out the Reaper. And an incredible first push from the Mustangs. 23% now as they move things forward a little bit onto our top 500 in the DPS roll onto Zyphon. His first season as a varsity Mustang or as a Mustang in general. And he's played so beautifully over these first 6 games, over these first 5 games. And we got our first ultimate on the field. And then the user of that ultimate, he is taken out. Unfortunately, Zyphon will fall. Retro will fall. Retro and Effect able to grab some on the way out. And Effect will fall as well. We got Sundown though. He might not be a top 500 player, but he is someone that you want on your roster. He activates his ultimate, and he is creating just a ton of space. 63% now for the Mustangs up on the Falcons, who have just played this defense beautifully, despite the fact that they were down 3 at one point. A support, a tank, and a DPS. And the Mustangs using 3 of their ultimates to their advantage. Zyphon runs around, he grabs one with his blade. He's looking for a second. He'll find it just after the blade falls. We've got one member of the Falcons on point, but they will quickly fall off. Retro able to take out that Reaper. Zyphon looking for the Orisa and the Mustang. Now towards 90%. High Noon comes out. Sundown able to take out one. He makes his way around. He's able to take out the Cassidy. Anna will fall. Juno will fall. And it will not be enough from the Falcons. The Mustangs will take map 1. I feel like I've just been going for the past 3 minutes, but that's just how the Mustangs do it. I think a crucial part of that game, it won't be play of the game, but it is the play of the game in my head. 3 Mustangs fall. The 2 Mustangs in their second semester on the team. We've got Sundown and we've got Ryan are left to defend against 4 members of the Falcons, or 3 members. I can't really be sure there, but they held beautifully on characters well. The Juno Ryan usually plays as he makes the switch over to Anna, but Sundown very rarely on that venture pick, and he's just been playing them beautifully so far here tonight. They look to move things forward, grab a nice little 2-0 here on Oasis. We find ourselves on map 2. Mustangs take high ground off rip here. The only switch they've made to their lineup is Ryan making his way over to Anna. We've got Zyphon running those front lines on point. The Falcons have fully made their way over to the Mustang side. The Mustangs fully on the side of the Falcons. That point has unlocked. Nobody's on it as of yet, but we'll see some action there fairly soon. Not any changes out of the Falcons except for that Junker King swap from the Orisa. Zyphon finds himself on point but at low health. Sundown stalling on point, unfortunately. Sundown or Zyphon first of all in this skirmish. Mustangs some good strategy taking the high ground, but it does not pay off the way they want. They've lost point to the Falcons for the first time tonight, and they will have their first lead of the night up towards 10%. Mustangs waiting for anything here, but Ryan unfortunately falls. Zyphon with a nice little pick. Sundown looking to make it 2. He'll make it 2. Looking for the Juno. Juno separates the rest of her team. Reaper looking to get there, not able to. Meanwhile, Retro able to get a pick on the other support. He'll make his way around. He's on that jump. Blue! What a beautiful knife out of Retro. That top 500 tank gameplay coming in clutch as the Mustangs retake point. 32% for the Falcons. A nice little lead built for them, but the Mustangs know how to bite into a lead here. as they'll retake the high ground. Zyphin and Retro sitting up near the front lines here as they look to see where the Falcons are coming from. They see them and they will engage together. Zyphin getting into the back lines there, but of course not able to get out. We've got two ultimates that come out from the Falcons here. One ultimate from Retro. He moves himself around. He's able to get one. Sundown with another. He's been really rocking this venture so far here tonight, and he's continuing to do so. Unfortunately, he will fall as the caster curse comes into full effect. Zyphin able to match with Retro in order to get that kill on the Juno. Retro able to take out the Junker Queen. They've got the stagger, and they've got the lead with 50%. As the Mustangs and Falcons go back and forth. I don't even really want to say back and forth. The Mustangs were able to take it back from the Falcons. We're able to keep it here. Retro with a great little throw of his knife and using utility in the early fight for him. Sundown unfortunately falls during his ultimate. We're able to take down the Reaper. He wasn't able to use his. Sniper moves into his team. He will get slept. Unfortunately not able to do much more. We'll be able to get one great pick there, but the rest of the Mustangs down and out and low on ultimate charge. Retro finds himself on his way back. Meanwhile, Sundown unable to burrow and get that extra shield on him. Retro able to take out the Reaper. He will go on the flank for the Mustangs. 48-50% now for the Falcons. The Mustangs still very much in this fight. Effect finds himself pretty much against the entire team. He's able to get out of there on the brig. Sundown makes his way over to Tracer. Mustangs still have the lead by almost 20%, 85% for the Mustangs, 67% for the Falcons as the Mustangs look to retake here. This Junker Queen's been looking like a really good swap out of the Falcons. Ultimate out of the enemy Juno. Sundown able to move in and out on that Tracer. Move out of the way, but unfortunately will fall. 92% for the Mustangs. Cassidy ultimate comes out. Zyphin able to take out the Juno. The Cassidy not able to get anyone. Mustangs force the overtime. Zyphin able to take out the Ana, looking for the Cassidy. He'll find the Cassidy. Nobody's on point except for the Junker Queen. She will fall. And with nobody to touch except for that Juno who is now slept, the Mustangs take a 2-0 victory over the Falcons here in Game 1. An absolutely beautiful Game 1 out of the Mustangs, if I do say so myself, as they take a 1-0 lead in this matchup up against the Falcons. Play of the game goes to the enemy Cassidy. But the win goes to the Mustangs. Mustangs, Falcons win this fight, but they do not win the war. They were unable to get back onto point after that. Like I said before, I think what it really came down to there was the in-between fights for the Mustangs. At no point was all 5 Mustangs having to say, oh, well, we got to respawn, we got to regroup. They had at least 2 or 3 of them on or close to sight at all times. And I know you might say, well, JD, it got a little dicey there at the end. I don't think so. 67, almost 70% for the Falcons. Mustangs able to retake point. And really what that retake was on in map 2, what it really came down to, at least for me, was the secret retakes. You guys get yourself into a skirmish up top. You send Sundown, you send Zyphin, you send Ryan, or even most of the time sending Effect down low to regain control of checkpoint. And all of a sudden, they go from defending checkpoint to attacking checkpoint. And a team fight that takes 10, 20, 30% now goes the way of the Mustangs and not the way of the Falcons. You saw it there with that last fight. We had 85%. We put someone on point. I didn't even realize that we had someone on point until we got to that 99% mark. That's kind of where we are with these games at this point. The Mustangs running strategies that I can't even fathom. But it really meant a really great thing. And like I said before, Mustangs played this in Game 2, but it was beautifully done in Game 1 by Ryan and Sundown. It's this ability to not all fall. It kept the Falcons off of point for so long. We saw Sundown and Ryan practically in a 2v3, a 2v4 up against some of the strongest members of this Falcons lineup, up against the tank, up against DPS. And we saw one lone DPS and one lone support hold down the fort until the Mustangs could respawn and re-get to point. And the hold played a pivotal part in that 100-0 win on map 1. And now we find ourselves on a fan favorite map for these Mustangs as we make our way over to Kings Row. These guys ready to go here for game 2. As both teams wanting to get this underway. This is a hybrid map. The way that this works is that the attacking team, in this case, that will be the Falcons for this initial game, will get the opportunity to attack a control point. If and when they're able to grab a control point, they'll have 4 minutes to do so, by the way. They will get, if and when they're able to take the control point, they will have 2.5 minutes of extra time added to the clock and the ability to push the payload. The gray square will unlock in just a second. To see here, Falcons looking to take this control point. Mustangs looking to defend. They'll 4 minutes if and when they're able to take the control point. They will have the ability to push that cart through the streets of Kings Row. Up through the streets, up to the front of the factory. If and when the Falcons are able to push to the front of the factory, they will get 1.5 minutes of extra time and the ability to push to that 3rd checkpoint. When time runs out, or if they're able to push it to the 3rd checkpoint, we will switch sides. Mustangs will be on the attack. Falcons will be on the defense. But for now, Mustangs find themselves in a beautiful defensive comp. Bada has switched in for Retro, and he is on Reinhardt. We've got a May for Zyphin. Sundown on Ash. Ryan on Juno, and Effect right back on that brig. The only save that we have here. Taking a later fight on this first point for Kings Row. A little bit of a different strategy out of the Mustangs. The one that we enjoy seeing, and someone else that we enjoy seeing, is Bada, our second tank. Wasn't in until about halfway through this season, but he's been a great addition to this team on and off the game itself. Playing a beautiful role. The comp the Falcons are running right now as they try to take this first point with 3:20 left on the clock. We've got a Winston, we've got a Sojourn, we've got a Widow, we've got Juno, and we've got Ana. Bada makes his way forward, he's got 2 in their sights. Ryan able to help out Bada there. He will move things around. One member of the Falcons falls. I believe it's the first kill in this matchup. They're trying to get every angle they possibly can on the Mustangs. Meanwhile, Sundown locking it down on that Ash in that sniper fight. He finds some cover and tries to get some kills. Meanwhile, Bada up front with that Reinhardt. Trying to get that Ana once again. He had help last time. He won't need help this time. Zyphin takes a sniper shot to the Widow. And just like that, the Mustangs have themselves a cozy little advantage here. Zyphin able to get yet another kill. We'll move over to him now. Mara comes out in place of, I believe, that was a May. We've got at least one ultimate, almost 4 ultimates ready for the Mustangs. Meanwhile, only 2 about ready for the Falcons. Mustangs with a big ult advantage here that they're able to save up as a last resort. A lot of stun ultimates that we can see out of Bada or Zyphin. So they're able to use them in not just one part of this fight where they can maximize 4 ultimates. They can use one ultimate, wait for a bit, then use another ultimate. And we see Ryan's, and we see one ultimate come out. Here's Ana will fall. That backline crumbles for the Falcons, and it means that the rest of the Mustangs able to take care of the front line here. Sundown with 2, Effect with another, Sundown with a 3rd. What a great shot from him. And it's a team kill, the first team kill of the night for the Mustangs. 1 minute and 20 seconds now on the clock. 4 ultimates ready for the Mustangs, and that May ultimate is a medium fast type charge, if I can remember correctly. Zyphin is the player that you would want. Sundown uses his ultimate in an unorthodox way there. He accidentally got it caught in the back room. That was unfortunately a wasted ultimate out of the Mustangs. Unless he's trying to defend against the flank. Not quite sure. We might ask him in the post game there. But we see Bada use his ultimate. Meanwhile, the team separated 3-2 for the Falcons. Mustangs able to use all their ultimates now. That Ana looking real close, but the Mustangs will push off a point. 30 seconds now on the clock. Will the Mustangs have another push left in him as Bada makes his way back? He won't be able to get back in time. Will the Mustangs touch? No, they won't. They'll take their chances with the payload. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That additional 2 minutes and 30 seconds, exactly what the Falcons ordered. The Mustangs have been known to hold on this second point. So look to do so here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds does not give a lot of margin for error out of the Falcons, out of this Dutchess Community College team. So the Mustangs looking to take every point here. Siphon has recharged his ultimate. Bada, 60%. Ult advantage definitely going towards the Mustangs now more than ever. Wolves come out. And Sundown and Bada able to get two as Bada moves things forward. Siphon able to get yet another kill, and the Mustangs find themselves in an incredible position here. Bada and Ryan both have their ultimates charged. They will give the ultimate advantage to the Mustangs. How will the three of them use them as Effect charges his? One ultimate come out, and a great ultimate for Bada that only gets one. Effect falls, Siphon falls, Bada falls. And with Bob deployed, it gives the Mustangs a little bit of breathe through. Sundown looking to get out of there just a little bit. Unfortunately, not able to get out of there all the way. One ultimate available to the Mustangs. Unfortunately, not good ult economy out of the Bluebell-based team. 1:05 left on the clock. About halfway pushed to that second checkpoint and a minute and a half of breathing room for the Falcons. Mustangs gonna look to put a stop to it here and now. Bada finds himself up top. Rest of the Mustangs moving around. Sundown left to get back from the Mustangs.
This ends now.
Ultimate comes out from the Sojourn and from the Ana. They'll move together. Effect uses his. Unfortunately, Ryan falls. Effect will fall. Now the supports is going to be difficult to get any type of pick here with 30 seconds left on the clock. That margin of error they were able to play around with and will pay dividends here as they get a minute and a half of extra time. 1 minute and 50 seconds to push that third checkpoint. That Farah pick has looked good for the Falcons. After they made that switch, they were able to take the first and second checkpoints here. Two All Mights going at it on that card. Ultimate ready for Bada. That Reinhardt finds himself cornered. Two frozen. Bada able to take one. Zypher will grab another. A third pick on that Farah. Proves really nice. A minute and 5 seconds now on the clock as the Mustangs trying everything here. They do not want to go to overtime if they can't help it. So we'll see what they can do with a minute left on the clock. Bada moves things forward as the Mustangs take a step back. They're looking for better positioning in the last 30 seconds here. Siphon able to grab the first pick of this match. Siphon takes down the bar, but not before it takes out Effect. 22 seconds now on the clock. Mustangs looking for a little bit of a stall here, and they're able to do it. Not a stall, sorry, a stagger, and they will get it out of the Sojourn. Falcons are forced to touch checkpoint here. We got 3 ultimates available for the Mustangs, including Bada's. When will we see this Bada ultimate come out? Ultimate comes out from both Reinhardt. Siphon with a couple of great kills. Effect, Ryan and Bada hold it up in the Mustangs with a great team kill to end off round 1. Mustangs now find themselves on attack. 2 checkpoints, 50.57 meters. That's where the Mustangs need to push it to. There is a win condition on the field right now, and it is the Mustangs pushing it forward 50.57 meters after checkpoint 2. In about 15 seconds here, we'll see this cart turn into a glowing gold rectangle, and that is it. The Mustangs want to take game 2 away from the Falcons. That's where they have to push through. The bar has been set. How will the Mustangs extend themselves to it? There it is, the win condition for the Mustangs. They'll look to take a 2-0 lead over the Falcons.
Scanning? Yes, this is a place. How are you?
Hello.
Stay close to me and I'll keep you safe.
Siphon ready to go. Sundown rocking the Widow. We've seen both of these guys with Widow shots in their immediate intros. We'll see what Sundown is able to do. An off rip there, looking for anything and everything. He's taking some shots at the Reinhardt. He'll take out the Ana, looking for the Mei. Won't be able to find the Mei, but he is certainly finding the Reinhardt. He'll find the Reinhardt. Mustangs taking that first point quickly. Bada taking no prisoners. He'll take out the Mei. The Cassidy will also be taken out. We see the shift away from the Pharah. Sundown up top. Good shots to start off this skirmish from Sundown. And the Mustangs with almost 6 minutes on the clock. Bada finds himself in the middle of his team. He grabs 1. Effect. He'll grab 2, looking for more. He's on that Mei. We're going to get the stagger on the Mei as well. Sundown able to take out the Mei. And that is a team kill for the Mustangs, who have just played beautifully tonight.
How are you?
These Reinhardts with their heirloom weapons and their incredibly nice All Might skins lead the charge for their respective teams. Mustangs push forward about halfway right now. These guys are both all over it now. We move back to Sundown. Able to take off the head of Mei. Looking for more there. He'll help as Ryan grabs the kill on the Reinhardt. He'll grab another. He'll grab a second in a row. As the Mustangs almost all the way pushed up. 4 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. Bada completes the stagger as we see the ball come out from the Falcons, but not for long. Bada able to take him down as well. Mustangs will grab an extra minute and a half on the clock. They've got 5 minutes and 41 seconds to push it around just over halfway through this final checkpoint. Sundown in the back line, able to get 1. Ultimate comes out of the enemy. Mei, Bada able to find 1. Both Mei ultimates come out. Sundown able to take out the ball. To see a little bit of a Widow on Widow fight. Ryan back on that cart. We haven't seen much of him tonight, and that's just because he's pushing the cart. Not much more to say than that. Mustangs starting to get a little close here. The ultimate come out from Ryan. He forces the Widow back. Mustangs get a little bit of advantage of the TPS game. And just like that, we've got ourselves almost a team kill from the Mustangs. It doesn't matter, it's a win. Mustangs go up 2-0 over the Falcons here tonight. and an excellent, excellent game 2 out of the Mustangs.
Play of the game.
It's exactly what you want to see. Sundown with the play of the game. We were on him for this already. Get some help on that second kill from Ryan. A third one there. The Maywall from Zypin gets him a fourth. And just like that, the Mustangs have built their lead up to a staggering 2-0. Are we surprised? Are we surprised at this point? The nature of the Mustangs, 50.57, 2 points brought up by the Falcons. And the Mustangs just say, all right, you know what? That defense wasn't our best. We lost a couple of crucial team fights there. Things were okay. We won't call things perfect, but they were okay. We made a win condition. All right, we've got 4 minutes to do this. Let's build it up to 540. Let's build it up to 540 again. Pretty much push uncontested that second point. And then they just say, all right, let's trap him in a corner. Sundown, you take the high ground. Grab yourself a nice little 4K to start us off. And then, we'll just grab that third checkpoint. The Mustangs looking really good as we look to get into game 3. Looking like we're going to get a little bit of Circuit Royale. I'm not quite sure yet. We will figure things out. But meanwhile, kind of looking ahead, looking at the map pool here tonight, a 2-0. Mustangs take that first game with an 100-0 and then an 100-60, which was an incredible game there. I really enjoyed that game. Great mechanics out of all 5 of the Mustangs to keep things up and running. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we get to game 2. It's 3-2 as the Mustangs able to win on that win condition going towards the third point. And the Mustangs just absolutely having fun with it here tonight, playing some great comps. And not to be underestimated, the Falcons have looked good as well. That attack was nothing to scoff at. They took a couple of huge team fights. That switch from one of the DPSs onto the Pharah is really what I like to see out of the Dutchess Community College Falcons. That ability to switch on the fly to that character. The Mustangs still looking to make their composition work up against the Pharah, but that Pharah, even with the weaker ultimates, was playing a bigger part of annoyance of bringing down the health. I don't think the Pharah was getting too many kills, maybe a couple of backline kills here and there, but really what she was doing was setting up the rest of her team for success. When you have a character like Pharah on the field, that AoE damage is always so annoying. I equate it to around a Junkrat type of AoE effect, but you get that mobility of a Pharah, and this was a great Pharah that we got to see tonight out of the Falcons, soaring through the air, much like a Falcon, which will be my one kind of dad joke for this stream, but it really kept the Mustangs on their toes, allowed for a great push out of the Falcons, but they weren't really able to capitalize on the same things on that back half on the defensive end. That Pharah played really well on the attacking end, but there isn't as many angles to come from when you're on the defensive end that don't leave you completely exposed. It's really an attacker-sided map. We saw it with Sundown. We saw the other DPS on a Widow for a little bit there, taking some really great angles on King's Row and proving to be annoying just like that Pharah up against the Mustangs. Really helped gain some extra territory when you're always worried about those off angles. And, Mustangs were just able to push through, grab a nice little win here in game 2 as we look to get things ready for game 3. I believe the Mustangs did ban Circuit. Yeah, they banned Circuit. So we'll see exactly what this what the Falcons team want to play for this third map. Mustangs looking for a clean 3-0, winning every map. Kind of moving through here. Really asking the question here tonight, who can bring us down? We've got one more week of the regular season after this. We got a week break, and then we come right back with the playoffs. So it's a really great position to be in if you're a Mustang. You want to win out. You want to be this dominant 1 seed. I don't know if we could finish things out tonight and be that first seed, or if we need to win out in order to be the first seed. I think with a win here tonight, with a clean sweep, we do indeed get that first seeded spot in Tier 2. It's exactly what we want in this great season we've been having in Tier 2, where we've just been moving around, having great plays. Obviously, a couple of teams have come close to playing us, but a lot of 3-0s, a really, really great game. We've got our third map for the night, Watch Point Gibraltar. It will be our escort map of the night, a map that personally I'm very fond of. It's one of those maps, kind of like Oasis, that I just have so many fond memories of playing video games with my friends. You know, it's midnight, I have so much homework to do, but I don't want to do it. And we're just chilling and we're playing Overwatch, and we're playing it stupidly. I want to preface with that. When I play Overwatch, I play Overwatch stupid. You know, these guys play incredibly well at an incredible competitive level. When I play Overwatch on some of the worst characters, playing the worst comps just to have some fun. And a map like Watch Point brings me back to that, but it is such a fun, competitive map. They've got all these tunnels and surfaces and things like that to play on, and it is just a beautiful escort map. We are currently looking at the third point here. We'll move ourselves over to the first and look to get things started here on escort. Escort, a little bit like hybrid, but obviously we got the control part of hybrid. Now we've got the escort part of hybrid. This rocket needs to get to space, and the attacking team, which is the Falcons at this point in time, are looking to do so. They will gain control immediately of this rocket and will look to push it forward. They have 4 minutes to bring it to the first checkpoint. They go under the bridge, back up the hill, and into the front of the Overwatch base. If and when they're able to bring it to this first checkpoint, they'll get 2.5 minutes of extra time and the ability to bring it to the second checkpoint. Second checkpoint brings us through those double doors and around the ship, I believe, maintenance bay, where we will get to checkpoint B. You'll be granted 1.5 minutes of extra time if and when you're able to push it to this point, and that will give you access to objective 3. We'll see exactly what the Mustangs are able to do. Bada back in the lineup. Zyphon and Sundown running a Tracer Genji combo. And then we've got our tried and true support core of Juno and Free. See that ball come out originally for the Falcons, proving to be a little bit annoying for the Mustangs roster. Sundown holding it down in that top lane. Mustangs taking a little bit of an off angle here. Bada moving peaks forward. We saw that hamster out of them. I wasn't quite sure. A lot of teams will use that as a strat to understand exactly who they're up against and will say, okay, here's a counter pick lineup. But not in this case. Falcons rolling with the hamster. I haven't seen a hamster outside of final holds in a while. We saw it a little bit on King's Row for the Falcons, and a very good hamster indeed. Great tech on the grapples. And that could be quite annoying for this type of Mustangs roster, but we're going to play right into it, see what they can do. Meanwhile, Retro able to move in on the Widow. He will get slept. Look to move things around. He's looking a little low. He's able to get out on top, up against 3 members of the Falcons. Mustangs with 3 ultimates up past 75%. No member of the Falcons can say that. Got Retro up front, looking a little low, a little poisoned. Mustangs move things forward. 2 minutes and 15 seconds now on the clock. First ultimate is available for Zyphon and for Ryan. Zyphon makes his way around. A great little push from the Juno. But unfortunately, you got a top 500 DPS there. He'll grab one. Ryan will grab one. Bada grabs another. Sundown with another. We've got almost 5 ultimates ready for the Mustangs. No ultimates available for the Falcons. It really speaks to the advantages that the Mustangs are able to build in each and every one of their fights. When you have top 500 members like Effect, like with Zyphon, who play this game for hours that I don't even want to get into, you see the thought process grow from, all right, how do I play the game? And to how do I play this game as strategically as possible, and a lot of that comes into how do I build ultimates faster? Who do I build ultimates with? What do my ultimates look like between my team? Who will charge quick and who will charge slow? You see the hamster using his ultimate, another ultimate out of the Genji as effect will fall. Sundown waiting on using his. We got a 3K from the Genji.
60 seconds remaining.
It's Retro and Sundown. It's moving very quietly. The back line of this team. Mustangs will be able to get a shot. Ultimate comes out from Sundown. He's able to take out one. He's looking for more. Not able to find much more. We've got one taken out by the Deadeye. Ryan and Retro on point. Retro with as much survivability as possible. Unfortunately, a little too late. 2 minutes and 50 seconds now on the clock for that second checkpoint. We see an incredible hold from the Mustangs 2 before. But again, that hamster is playing oh so well for the Falcons. Really commendable out of them. I haven't seen any hamster gameplay all season long. We've got a treat here with 2 of them at the Mustangs. Still push forward. Got one ultimate available. It's the Brig ultimate for effect. So we'll see exactly what they can do. Rally comes out, and the Mustangs will rally. Vada with an initial pick. He'll grab a second. He's looking for a third. He'll grab a third. Mustangs able to grab it, and they'll have 2 ultimates charged after that. That's exactly what I'm talking about out of the Mustangs, making the most of everything that they throw at this team. They haven't been the best with ult usage against the Falcons, but it just takes one ultimate to make the difference in effect. Was it? Went for a lull and reacted and used it beautifully. And we got tank on tank action. What do we see at this top? Both of these tanks are backline type tanks. We see that immediately. As Vada goes in, not able to do much there. Siphon will fall after getting a pick on the Cassidy. Aim throughout tonight. Sundown will also fall. Vada in the middle of this team. 1 minute and 5 seconds now on the clock. Play a pivotal role in this game 1 through 4. That's exactly what they can do. Vada looking to create some room. We got Sundown now on the capacity. Here we go, Yana. Unfortunately, a high noon out of the capacity forces the Mustangs back. Unfortunately, Ryan needs one of the mines. 38 seconds, 2.2 meters to go. Retro looks a little low here. Will he be able to get his ultimate off? Will he need to get his ultimate off? Right? 26 seconds now. Vada able to grab one. Not Retro, Vada. Ryan able to bring back Venture. Back on that Venture that we saw on map 1. But again, 10 seconds now. Mustangs want to hold it here. 2.2 meters away from that third checkpoint. Hamster gets on the point. Vada looks to anything here. Sundown able to grab one before he falls. Ryan really looking for his advantage. Something huge advantage right now. Vada looking for anything as well. He doesn't even need to use his ultimate. With over 30 seconds left on the clock, triple kill gives the Mustangs the win. And 80.2 meters. That second checkpoint is all that stands between the Mustangs and a 6-0. And what I can only believe is a 24-0 map-wise.
Initiating match.
You see here just how close that rocket is to the checkpoint. 2.2 meters is all that separated the Falcons from an extra minute and a half of time to push that cart forward. And when you're a team like the Falcon, who's played so hard into the Mustangs tonight, every meter counts. The Falcons know that they can take team fights off of the Mustangs. Few and far between they might be. It takes time off the clock. And seconds and meters is all that the Mustangs have now. 80.02 meters is all that stands between the Mustangs and a win here tonight. They are definitely looking for a big one here this week. We'll see exactly what they do. Bada on Winston, Zyphon on Tracer, Sundown back on the Widow. Saw the play out of the game from him last game.
He promised they would keep me safe.
And we've got Effect, tried and true on the Brig.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go, Mustangs. Moving things forward.
I think I
Escort the payload.
we must accelerate.
Payload's on the move!
As we look to go at it, Zyphon finds themselves on cart. Sundown moves things forward. Sundown through 3 other members of his own team. Then we grab a nice little pick. He helps to grab another one. Almost takes himself out with the enemy Genji there, but we won't talk about that. Up and around for the Mustangs. That Genji in the back line here. Not able to do much.
So careless.
Now the Mustangs pushing forward once again. A ton of time left on the clock. Zyphon gets a nice pick on that Genji that we were talking about before. Effect standing on guard up against the D.Va. Winston out of Spada tonight, I believe.
Double.
Just like that, a 4K for the Mustangs, and they will grab the point. 5 minutes and 12 seconds is all they need to go 80.02 meters. 50.22 meters is where they need to go on map 2. 80 just a little bit further, but not too far for the Mustangs. Sundown pretty much single-handedly blocking that door. The D.Va pulls in on him. Mustangs looking on the back line here. Who's on cart? Oh, on the cart. Mustangs looking good. Bada grabs himself a kill. They're in on the back line. 2 ultimates used. Looking to push one off the map. He'll grab it. 2 for the Mustangs. D.Va gets herself nerfed. And with that, the Mustangs almost have a team kill, but it doesn't matter yet again. They'll get the win. Not only tonight, but they'll preserve a perfect season. And they will look to bring things forward into the last week of this season. They're looking beautiful here tonight. The enemy Genji with a play of the game, deservingly so, out of this Genji. A nano blade to be remembered. We saw these a lot the past couple of seasons out of the Mustangs. With Genji falling out of the meta, they've become fewer and further between. So we thank the Falcons for a look at a nano Genji. But again, the Mustangs come out with a beautiful win over the Falcons. As I don't know, that's why it didn't work the first time. We'll bring it back to the studio here as I will update the scoreboard. And again, the Mustangs just playing that game beautifully. They played their own game, kept not a lot of time on the clock, continuously kept the Falcons on their toes, and you will have an opportunity to hear from one of the Mustangs that kept them on their toes. Here in just 1 minute, we'll bring stream to a quick break, and when we come back, we will have ourselves an interview. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Damn, I didn't really get you that close to the camera. That's all good. Let's see. Oh, I can just turn you down in the program. All right, welcome back. Sorry, I'm like phasing out of reality here. Mustangs with a big win. I am joined by not only the tank, but the captain for the Montco Mustangs. I'm joined by Retro. 6 games played, 24 maps, and you've not dropped a single one. How does it feel?
Awesome. I mean, we've had this kind of play like this before. We've had records like this in past semesters, but we really do believe that we are a lot stronger than those past semesters, and we are going to try and keep this flawless victory going out through regular season, our last week, next week, and obviously going to do the same exact thing through the playoffs. That was my phone. I got to turn
Yeah. Also, bring the mic closer to your face.
Oh.
I have the gain turned down to like nothing on there. But no, you're all good. You're all good. I'm just screwing with the gain. But obviously, an incredible win to have here tonight, up against the Dutchess Community College, up against the Falcons. You talk me through game 1 a little bit. You guys are on Oasis. And I'm going to talk you through, I want you to talk me through at least one of the fights. You fall, I believe, Effect falls, and Xiphon fall. And it's the 3 of you on the respawn, and you've got Sundown and Ryan. What are they saying to each other to communicate there? Do you remember anything about that fight? Because they were able to hold off pretty much the entirety of the Falcons team on their own. So was there anything that you guys did differently in that section, or was it just like we're calling out when we're going to respawn and when we're going to get back?
Well, usually in those scenarios where if we own point and we are down, we just try and say, hey, just all out point best we can, get as much percentage as we can, really. And we also like call like we're just about to walk back, we can turn this fight. It's always winnable, honestly. We've been able to just make fights that seem not in our favor and just completely turn it with like 1 or 2 ultimates and just outskill.
Yeah, I mean, that Venture, we haven't seen much Venture out of really any team that we've really played or out of us. So I'm curious as to why Venture was someone that we saw Sundown playing not only in map 1 on Oasis, but on map 3 on Watchpoint. We saw that, we saw the Venture come out, you know, kind of in the middle towards the end there. So what's the thought process on bringing Venture into the lineup?
Honestly, Venture right now is probably the most slept DPS hero currently. It honestly is such a sleeper pick. I mean, they're obviously situational hero. You can't always find a situation to play them, but when you are able to look at the enemy team and just find a way to fit Venture into a composition, they can do work. Like, they can flat out just make such a disturbance in the back line and just has so much utility, survivability, just like all around DPS character, just to completely wipe the game if you play him right.
Yeah, I mean, really one of my favorite characters in the game right now to play. Got a lot of great tech, and I'm great to see them in the lineup for this team. Speaking of the unorthodox picks, we saw Sundown on Widow. Now, we know Sundown is good at Widow, but most of the time in these comps, when we want a sniper, we put it in the hands of Xiphon. So, you know, what was the play call there to go, you know, you guys are fairly even on these heroes. Let's put Sundown on this essential DPS hero, especially on a map like King's Row. What was the thought process there?
Well, usually we have Xiphon play the DPS that usually, I guess you can say, carries the most. But we've been seeing a pattern where Genji has come back into the meta, and we just kind of think that why not have our best player play the most mechanically difficult character. So when you see like a Genji Widow and stuff like that, we're seeing more of like hit scan heroes more on for the for Tar and Sundown, and more like the projectile flex DPS and more mechanically difficult DPS going to Xiphon, and that's just how we're rolling out now in this season. So.
And you really speak to a great point that has really been highlighted throughout the incredible competitive nature that you guys have had this season, and it really speaks to the depth of your lineup. You guys have got technically 3 top 500s if you include yourself in that. I know you touched it last or like 1 or 2 seasons ago, so I'm very happy about that. But obviously, you know, what does it mean to have such a huge depth of field when it comes to this roster? What does it mean for strategies, and what does it mean as you guys just go out there and pretty much just have fun the entire night?
Honestly, it's just we just feel like so powerful just going into that. Like we just have good vibes. We just go in. We have the strategy in mind, and it's really all about mental and just knowing that you have to be the better play in the situation. So just going in with a good mental and just having the great strategies that we seem to be having so far in this season. It's just how we're just going with it. So
Yeah, and it's really been a big part of this team's success, that mental fortitude that all, what is it, 7 of you guys at this point?
Yeah.
7 with with a extra DPS and an extra tank. You know, that's really shown the depth of character, but also the depth of just like the ability to stay locked in. It can be hard as we get to some of these later games to be like, we have 24 map wins. Let's not drop this one and get more concerned about that than you are concerned about the actual game. But as you guys look ahead, like we said, we've got 1 game left in the regular season, and then crunch time. We make our way into playoffs. What are you guys doing to prepare? How are you guys feeling about playoffs right now? Especially, I believe you guys are now the only undefeated team in this league. So what does that mean to you guys, and how will you guys use that type of confidence booster to push yourselves into the playoffs, where at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to what rank you come into it with. It just matters that you guys get the win.
yeah, honestly, we're just taking the Montco momentum, as we love
There
to
you go.
do. So yeah, we're just taking that Montco momentum. And we've also looked around, and last fall semester, we've had a little hiccup where literally right before our final playoff game, there's a patch and completely destroys the composition. I looked ahead, no patch whatsoever throughout the rest of the season. So what we have now with the damage numbers, the characters, who's meta, who's not meta, we're taking whatever we have and we're starting to reinforce as best we can with the characters that we know that we are good at and that are in meta right now. And we're going to take it and go through with it the entire rest of the season and hope that we can win championships with it. So
Well, that is always the hope. Obviously, Falcons played themselves a great game here tonight, but you guys come out with a win, 3-0. Really great game out of both teams. I mean, that Farah pick was really fun to watch, but as we could talk about that all post stream, but any final shout outs that you have to give for anyone here tonight before we end things off?
well, obviously my family members and my friends who are watching, thank you for watching. Same goes with all of my teammates, family, and friends who are watching. I actually have my girlfriend with me here today, so she was watching in person. Love you. But yeah, anyone who's watching, whether you're a Montco player, if you're a family member of a Montco player, or you just like randomly tuned in just to watch us, I appreciate you guys watching us, and we hope that we're able to win championships for you guys.
Yeah, and that's an absolutely fantastic way to end things off here tonight. Mustangs take a 3-0 victory over the Falcons. They are 24-0 in maps. They are 6-0 on the season. They're going to look to go 7-0 next week. I am excited for it. I know you guys are excited for it. But that is going to do it for our stream here tonight, our last stream of the week. Unfortunately, no streams Thursday or Friday, but we will see you guys next Wednesday. League of Legends does have a bye week, so don't feel bad about not being here on Monday. But we will be here for the season closer for the Mustangs. They're going to look to round out this perfect regular season on a high note, and we will see exactly what they can do next week. But until then, I am Corrupted. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.